What was so secret that it dare not be spoken? What was the secret knowledge of the greatest schools of ancient wisdom that ever existed and exist today? What was the tenet that always were pursued by these doctrines to abolish and destroy? What was it that threatened the very foundations of control and fear itself? Was what you have learned since yesterday, that God is in you, that it is divine, that you are divine. How do we know that? Because the greatest physics yet that has been opened up to the understanding of mathematical oddity to the human intellect is that of quantum physics. Yeshua ben Joseph and all of the great martyrs of the past taught about quantum physics, but under the similitude that the quantum physics represented the kingdom of heaven within. That meant potentials at your choosing. It taught that the Father that is in me is the Father that is in you. What I have done, you can do even greater. How is that possible? It's possible to simply say that our vicars of heretical knowledge knew one great and unimposing knowledge of liberty, and that was that God was not out there, but was the beating heart, the song of poetry, the babe in the arms, the man creating in his fields, was a divine being, that miracles came from him because he had the Father within him and had the mother within her, who that by her will she chose to see a reality different than it was proposed in front of her and in front of him. And by that vision of letting God look right out those eyes, right out that frontal lobe, that what God saw, God made perfect. And God could only do that in its most perfect and beautiful temple that it prized above all others, and that is your human body that you wear this night. It is the perfect temple of the living God. And when given clear access to view, it makes right and beautiful what it sees. So all teachers in allegory have taught the observer, and quantum thought in the form of allegory, but if translated today, would be translated to the new physics that is even greater than what you think it is, because the new physics is but an arm of a greater tree of knowledge. And all of this is inside of you. That was the sacred knowledge that at one time would have cost you your life. You would have been burned alive for dare saying God and you were the same. And yet, I say, entity, we have openly proposed, philosophized, and demonstrated the truth of that remarkable action. And not just in some of you, because no one here is more special than anyone else. If we are divine, then once we are divine, we will always divine. It is how we have demonstrated it that dares, through ignorance, compare its reality to another. We are all divine. And that from our inner self, we do create the magi that we do create the wonder, that we are masters of time and of matter itself, and that matter does not exist extraneously from us, but is us. And this value that you learn in the school, you apply in your life with free will, at your will. And at once, you have the will to choose what you put in front of that observer, in front of your head, and let it look at it. Be it vile, vulgar, or beautiful beyond words and description that only art could express it. It's still looking. And when we wake up to that, our free will allows us the interaction to preordain an existence, that we predetermine our existence in a future. So at once, that which was contrary to each other, an oxymoron, free will and predestination, they come from the same source. The will to deliver one's life into a time that one creates and to experience that is predestination.